Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Tucker. We're going to be taking this space and changing it into this. Alright, before we get into making the garage studio setup in the other garage, we're going to be taking this piece of plywood and making a wood backer for these pegboards. Alright, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to set up this wood backer as almost like a picture frame you'd have in your house with these pieces of trim. Lay it out on the outside to frame out the pegboards. We're going to start out with framing out the main piece of plywood and get that cut down so we can start the framework. Alright, we already have the main measurements taken for the height and the width plus the 1.5 inch trim. So we're just going to measure that out real quick, make some hard lines so we can make the first cuts. This is basically going to be our straight edge here because my square isn't long enough. So we have the backer all marked out in nice square form. Now we just have to shift everything over and make the first cuts. Alright, so we got that all cut and trimmed down to size. Now we can kind of clean up the edges a little bit and then we'll start cutting out the trim pieces that go around the outside. We got the backer stained, we have the edge pieces stained as well. Now we're going to glue and nail it down. So we got the longest portion of the shop studio done and completed. We got the backer for the pegboard all stained and the trim nailed down, glued down. We also got the baskets stained for on the new shelf we're going to be putting up. So now we're going to move over to that garage and start moving some of the clutter from that garage to here. We got a bunch of dead tires from the drift season that we're going to try and get out of here within the next day or so. Get those disposed of and clean up the space quite a bit. So these are the dead tires from the season. These two are still good on top. We'll save those for next year. These as well are still okay, but the two on the bottom showing cords, we got to get those dismounted off the wheels at some point. But for now we're just going to move them to the other garage to get them out of the way. These two on the bottom are also okay, and then I have one tire that I can maybe match with a tire that I have in the other garage. But then we also, later on, we're gonna get the kayaks off the wall and go put those in my race trailer for the winter, because we're not gonna be using those at all over winter when the lakes are all froze. We're gonna clean up some of the stuff on the edge, clean up the toolbox, get all the tools out of the toolbox, the travel box, back into the actual toolbox back there. We're gonna put up another rack that's the same like that over here, spread things out, get things in bins, clean stuff up a lot. So let's get into it. Alright, so we have from the latest Miata project and stuff, we have just cardboard from the new lighting as well. Got cardboard just sitting here. I don't see them failing anytime soon, fingers crossed. So I'll crush all this down and get this into recycling. We got the space cleaned up a little bit for right now. We got enough room down here to where we can start putting together the shelf that's going to go in that corner. It's just basically taking this and copy paste right over into that corner. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do next. Well, to create just a little bit more space to build this big rack, I am gonna have to move the Miata out of the garage. So we'll do that real quick, just back it out into a parking spot and clear out this whole area for a workspace. And there you have it. The rack is built. We got it set in the corner. Now, to kind of reorganize the other rack a little bit, get some of the stuff on the new rack, and then readjust the shelf on the old rack so that we have the matching shelves. We now have both racks in place. They are anchored to the walls. The next step is to get the pegboard backer placed up on the wall, level that out, and then we can start putting the pegboards themselves and screw them to the backer. right, we have the pegboard all assembled and on the wall. Looks pretty good with the trim piece around it. Now we can start putting up some of these little bins and hanging them a little bit and set up the pegboard. We now have the space all completed, is all done, pegboards are up, the new rack is up, bins are in place, storage is much nicer and neater now. The space is all set up for a really nice garage studio for video on the car, doing some other style videos that we got coming up in the future. So stay tuned, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.